something that I missed because I have my chat off screen here is my opponent was not too happy with with my triple trap draw, which I'm pretty sure it was triple, not quadruple. But also, after game two, and when you're playing a deck like Amulet, not sure you're in a position. Yeah, this hand's great. Being on the draw kind of stinks, but Charles Bukowski, I believe that he has passed away, so it's a bit strange to be playing against him, but it's an honor nonetheless. There's a Delver. That's a fast clock. Um. All right, I'll go Swamp, Thoughtseize, Island Orb. If this Delver could just not flip for a couple turns, that'd be really nice. Be very helpful. Ah, Tasker is a very fast clock, but the visions helps the Delver flip. I'm gonna take one card here, and if it's not the visions, you get to cast visions. Theoretically have 3 lands and 3 cards in the yard by turn 3. Even more than that, assuming I play Orb. So I guess I have to take Tassiger. Yep. Delve is pretty good counter strategy to the mill strategy. Miss, 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 miss. No! Well, at least it was a blank. If you didn't see, it was Terminate, which is not too good against me. However, a turn 1 3/2 flyer is quite good against me. So, Orb. Wow, top. We get to mill 1 away with the Orb. Or we can mill them both away and just cast Glimpse. See what we draw. That's not what we're looking for either. I kind of want a Glimpse so that I can try and go Glimpse, Funeral, and maybe win that way. It's going to be really hard to win otherwise. The Orb gets the mill 2 this turn. Theoretically, more. I don't know. My opponent doesn't really have to play. I was thinking they would go 3rd land, Snap Visions, but they don't even have to do that. How many turns do we have? We have 5 tops. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I guess we theoretically have time for Orb. Well, let's see. Snapcaster, we go to 11. Well, we have to crack this, so we're actually going to 10. And then opponent plays a Snapcaster, which is the 2-turn clock. So that's no good either. 1, 2, 3, and then we die. So I think we have to do that. Hope to draw exactly land into Crypton version. What's that card called? Invade the Catacombs. Crypt Incursion. That's what it is. Alright, yeah, we don't have time to orb. The visions, assuming we draw a land, we then get to funeral, and then next turn visions, hopefully into the crypt. But we have to draw a land first. An untapped land. The shell dock doesn't help. Sadly, I don't think these are in order, so we don't get to know which our opponent kept. Bloodstained Mire. So now they have Snap Spell Pierce. This matchup is a nightmare. Holy smokes, is this matchup a nightmare. Wow, well, we drew our land and we're just completely stone dead. Wow. Maybe they don't see it. He said optimistically. This matchup is such a nightmare. Oh, wow. It's funny. 90-10s don't happen very often in Magic. It's a very complex, dynamic game. You know, there's so much weight in like mulligans and being mana screwed or flooded. A true 90-10 matchup does not come along very often, but it would be difficult to argue that this matchup was much better than 90-10. Oh my god. Angler. They should be removing their creatures. Not that it matters, obviously, but they should be removing their creatures. Like, you can leave one in the yard for Kolgan's command or whatever, but like, what is this Delver doing in your yard, you know? Besides fueling my Crypt Inversion. Incursion. Incur the grave. Don't invert it. Let's just see more of my opponent's deck before we concede. Electrolyze. Leak. It's good to know about, I suppose. Multiple leaks as well as remand. Get an idea of what their balance is like, what their split is like. I concede the game. Whew. How do you win this matchup? Besides, LOL, you don't. Surgical seems pretty good against Snapcaster. Dispel seems good against counters. Disfigure seems good against Delvers and Pyromancers. Cut seems good against Tassigers and Anglers. I guess I'm supposed to dismember. Don't think I spell Skite. They're gonna have dead cards anyway. Like, they're gonna have too much removal to board it all out, I think. So maybe we should board out Crabs and really try and blank it. I don't hate that. Crypt Incursion seems theoretically good. The problem is, if my opponent is playing properly and delving away their minions, it's not as good. Mesmeric Orb is randomly not good either, just because their deck plays so well on a mana tight regiment. I feel like my opponent's gonna have like lightning bolts and electrolyzes, maybe even terminates post board, just because that deck has so much removal it's hard to get it all out, and because they might be hedging. think cutting those are okay. Same with the Snapcaster. No, I think I want Snapcaster with all these. Snapcaster is a little annoying against both Remand and Spell Snare. So I was considering cutting it. But I do have Dispels to help protect it. So I guess it's fine. I'll just cut a couple orbs. We're a little light on actual mill cards, but hopefully we can just like kill their 2 threats. I don't know. We're gonna have to get so lucky to win this matchup anyway that I'm willing to slant my deck in one direction or another. Sounds very good for this matchup, which is helpful. Sheldock Isles can be good value against a controlling draw with, you know, discard and counter magic if they're not trying to clock us out. Gadimps, the unthinkable. This guy must have really seen something unthinkable. He is freaking out. Like, do you think his hair was ghost white before he saw whatever he saw? I would wager not. I would wager that is a direct result of his glimpsing. Cartesian probe. Get a good look. Okay. All right, we got him down to 15. Smart opponent playing around a drawn archive trap after seeing that we didn't have one in hand originally. Let's go ahead and not play into the snare or pierce. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to say, like, once Sheldock Isle goes off, we're gonna have to kill our opponent. So, taking the win condition-y card, more important than something like Dismember. Oh my god, I'm blowing up. Seems like everybody uses the same. That's different. I was gonna say the same Facebook notification sound, like nobody changes it. So whenever it goes off, everybody checks their phone. Yeah, alright. I think I just let this get countered. Maybe not. Sheldock's... Getting Sheldock's active is not nothing. I have to have another snare, a pierce, or their own dispel. See, if this was leak, I would dispel it pretty happily. But I think I'm going to dispel it anyway. We do get pierced, or dispelled. Ooh, and they have the good dispel too. Dispel, one of the few cards where I think the not original art is better. It's originally in like Rise, maybe? Zendikar, somewhere around there. And I liked that dispel, but I like this art better. Alright. Remandio. It's your funeral. How do you get through all this? Just one of everything. At least they don't have a clock yet, I say as they play a Snapcaster. Of course. They've seen the surgical, so Ambush Viper is the best they're going to do and they know it. They've not seen the Remand. Though it's not going to be the easiest to get through. Uh-oh. A Delve monster is not what I was hoping to face this turn. This matchup is laughably bad. I think I could play this 100 times before I won one. I do none of the things that punish them, and all of the things that they can do to punish other people work on me. It's so bad. And there's just weird, like card interactions that work against me. This is a real nightmare. What I was saying about my opponent's screen name before I got sidetracked, as I want to do. This is a great comedy bit. I think it's on Comedy Bang Bang podcast of a character that's a mashup between Bill Cosby and Charles Bukowski. First time I heard it, I thought it was pretty dumb, but I kept watching it and it grew on me. I think it's pretty funny. So what the heck do you do here? What am I going to do with Scries? Bottom, bottom. Well, that's not nothing. I think I'm going to pass. Get some more time. Have this Remand, try and bob and weave a little, maybe get something done. Sucks to draw a trap this late. I'm sorry, my phone is on. It's like pretty unprofessional. But you know, when the two cards that I drew were Remand and Archive Trap, I was like, the surprise value of these cards might be good. Then I got probed. Bummer City. Alright. Pass right through to end step. Should I surgical something? Or even cycle visions? Because without an orb in play, it's going to be pretty hard for me to get to 20 cards in my yard. And even if my opponent gets close, they can just delve their way out of it. Some non-zero percentage of the time. I'm pretty close though. Not close enough. Especially once they've seen the Archive Trap. Yeah, let's just cycle. Not happy about it, but gonna try and make something happen as we are getting clocked. Alright. It's not nothing. Alright. Mind. Funeral. Lead with Glimpse. Then I have Remand. to remand my own glimpse once it invariably gets countered. Here we go. Snapcaster. Well then. That doubles the clock. I assume this targets spell snare. Indeed it does. Well, I'm pretty happy to get rid of spell snares. So suppose I just surgical it. The 2 life is a full turn off the clock, which is unfortunate, but with only a single black and no mana to spare anyway. Gonna have to hope we get a little lucky. Wow, our opponent's hand is kind of great, but also humorous that the Terminate is still there. Look at how much removal our opponents still have in their deck. All 4 bolts, which go to the face, so that's fine. Kolaghan's Command, same, it has utility, but also Terminate, 2 Terminates. 2 Dispel, 2 Snare, 1 Pierce. We got hit by the Miser's Pierce both games. That's good value. I can respect that. Counter Squall is a nice one. 2 remands, 2 leaks. Alright. Sadly, our opponent's hand is like very good. Which is not what we wanted to be the case. But nonetheless, the game goes on. Pretty sure I have to let that resolve because I need the remand for the snapped Pierce. Next turn? I believe that to be the case. This doesn't trap, does it? I don't think it does. It's gonna make me pay 5. Yeah, that's what I thought. 'Cause I searched their library. They did not. Yeah. I think I have to let this through. I really don't see a way that we can win, but if we draw a land, and then what? And then a Crypt Incursion? Maybe we can make something happen. Ooh, that throws off the math. Well, our opponent can't snap Remand anymore. Or snap Spell Pierce. Unless they drew a blue land in addition to the Delver and the 2 cards that they drew from Remand and per turn. So I'm going to go ahead and remand this. And hope. Well, there's the Crypt Incursion. Now we just need Urborg Drown in Sorrow. Yeah, I think that thing just needs to not flip as like our only out. 20. 8 plus 10 plus 1. Oh no! So close to trying to turn on Ancestral. Can I try? I can't even. Ghost Quarter, can I? Pretty sure my opponent has another basic island. I believe we saw that with the Surgical, as well as a basic mountain. If my brain knows what's up. So that means what? That we're dead? Basically that we're dead. All right, good to know. We could Mind Funeral first. Yeah, maybe that's better. Try and get Visions active, cast it, hope Delver doesn't flip. Make some sauce. Oh, this also has to not hit a burn spell because of the Snapcaster in the opponent's hand. Wow. Talk about your 0.001 percenters. It's like we have to get extremely lucky to then hopefully enter a coin flip that we then have to win to have a 5% chance of winning the game. Somebody run those numbers. Let me know what my equity is at this point. With this Mind Funeral on the stack, what is my percentage chance of winning? Whoa! We almost won the game right there! That's the biggest Mind Funeral I've ever seen. Funeral. I know how to speak English. I just got very excited. Sadly, we have no way to capitalize because we are dead to the Snapcaster. Even if we drew basic Swamp Thoughtseize to take the Snapcaster, we would be facing lethal on board. So there's no outs, but might as well Ancestral. Because why not, said the king. This also does not do it. Although it's close. Would have had to draw Contagion. Contagion might have gotten us out of this. Alright, enough wasting time.